Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of When Pigs Fly. I am Patty. We're joined by Tracy and Renee. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Today, we have a topic that is very interesting to all of us energy mongers. We are going to talk about ascension symptoms. Yes, they're real, but some of you we find could use a little guidance in what do they mean because there's different types. Some of it is energy coming in, new illumination energy is what we're most recently pulling in. And some of it is actually a purging energy, where this is why we were telling you look at your shit and get rid of what's not serving you because it's going to be forced up to the service. So we're hoping today to help you identify, number one, notice when you're purging. How do you handle that? And then how are you dealing with your ascension symptoms? Who would like to jump in on this one?
Patty, I think you should start this one.
Yeah. Well, for me, when I am aware, say for example, I worked on clearing a particular energetic emotional wound. And you go, okay, I did all this work clearing. And those of us who know Renee Renee's like a genius at quickly clearing crap out of your system, right? And then you're like, okay, I'm in my power now. I'm feeling good. Now, wait, why am I being shown this energy again? It came up. You don't need to lose your shit and fall apart. It's coming up, which means that a energy is being pushed down into us now to purge it. So what happens is there's a purging energy as part of the ascension because we have to create from clean. So it's going to push it out and it'll come to the surface again. You don't need to re-engage with it. You don't need to get back on the struggle bus. You just observe it and go, oh, that's on its way out. And like Tracy was saying in one of the recent episodes, you alchemize it. Just wish it well. Thank you for showing yourself. Give it love and send it on its way. And then the flip side of that too is how do we deal with the incoming energy? This is what can make you feel out of sorts, confused, or you're like all of a sudden saying, I don't have clarity. I don't know what to do next. I hear a lot of all of a sudden, I don't know my purpose. Well, all you need to do in this case is just say, okay, recognize that the unknown is energy is filling a void. The universe loves a void. So when we purge, there's an energetic void that needs to be filled. Well, we want it to be filled with this new illuminating energy that's coming in. So we need to allow it. So this is where jump into self-care. If you feel tired, yesterday in the middle of the day, I stopped everything I was doing because I felt this fatigue and it wasn't tied to any emotion or anything that happened. It was just, ooh, my body was saying, just chill and go with it and don't fight against it. And if it's a situation where you may be at work or something, just find 5 minutes to yourself and just get into that calming energy. Do what you can to just ground yourself and get peaceful. And grounding is critical in this. Go outside, let's get the sun on your face. Do something to just feel some stability without any expectation. Don't force that, okay, no, I need clarity right now, because it's not going to come, because you need to then allow this energy to assimilate. And also, don't attach to some of I hear a lot of stories around ascension symptoms too, that people start turning it into an illness. It is not an illness. We are evolving. So our body and our DNA is also evolving, which means that when this energy comes in, our cells are getting shaken up a little and we have to acclimate to it. And it's temporary and it's part of the growth process and it's part of us evolving from like Homo sapien to Homo sentient. And we're actually Homo lumiscent is what we're becoming. We're becoming more balanced with our light body, which is your higher self. Now, this may be a lot to drink up right now, but just be open to the fact that we're becoming less dense and more light. So for that to happen, shit's got to break up and kind of drift off. And so it can feel weird. You can feel disoriented, but there's always then that period where you wake up fully grounded, fully in your body, and you're good. And that's when you know you've integrated it. And just follow again what we were saying in the last episode. Really listen to your body. And you don't have to say, oh, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, and then start naming 19 illnesses. No. And then don't just say, oh, this ascension thing, like it's a bad thing. The ascension is for all of us in our best and higher good. The earth is ascending too, which is why if you need to feel reconnected, if you feel disconnected and out of sorts, Gaia is there for you. Get out in nature for a few minutes because that energy is ascending, and feel that oneness that we were talking about. So if you put these little pieces together, these little breadcrumbs, you can see that we're all encouraging you to open to that energy of oneness. And that's where your integration happens. And that's where you can be comfortable with that void. Oh no, I don't know what I'm going to do next. You're not meant to know right now. So what can I do? Get yourself into peace, get into joy. I love painting. You know what? I'm like, I have no idea what to do right now. I'm going to go pick up my paintbrush, or I'm going to go watch something funny. And like, that's the nurturing. That's the self-love. What can bring me joy in this moment? Then you're not meant to be doing. And if you are somewhere where you have a responsibility and you're doing a job, just treat yourself with some kindness and say, okay, I just need to get through this shift or whatever I'm doing. And then I'm going to go take care of myself. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to do this to the best of my ability with good intention so that when I can then focus just on me, it's going to be all about me, and nurture yourself.
Yeah. And sometimes in that whole aspect of, okay, what can I do that's fun? Sometimes it's just doing nothing. And maybe it's literally just sitting and doing absolutely nothing. And I know for me, sometimes when I'll feel things, and sometimes, sometimes it's like I will feel it as this pain within my system. I'm like, oh my God, this really hurts. Well, that's an indicator that you're holding on to something, that you're not allowing it to go. So then I'll be like, oh, that's right. I'm recognizing this. And sometimes I'm not aware that there's an energy is coming in. It's not like I'm looking at this all the time. So I'm like, okay, oh, clearly something's happening, something's shifting, whether it's energy in my body, whether something's coming forward, something's trying to push out, whatever it is. So then I usually like, all right, come on, let's go. Let's get this out. Let's have this, awesome freaking day. And not only that, in the mornings, what I usually do is like, okay, you guess what, like guys, meaning like every aspect of me I'm talking to. I used to call them guys for whatever reason. I'm like, okay, guys, like we had an awesome fucking day yesterday. Like, let's make today even better. Like, bring it on. Whatever the heck is coming in, let's bring it on. Let's go forward. So stuff.
Well,
go ahead.
Sorry, no, because and I'll go right back to you. You just brought up because we do have free will. You can, if you're feeling the strong ascension symptoms, too much pressure in the head. A lot of people recently have had feeling it in their eyes. You can say, please bring this new energy in with ease and grace. We have the ability to control. Now we're like crazy and we're like, bring it. Like we want to integrate it fast. But if you feel like, okay, wait, and recently it has been a lot of crown stuff and a lot of stuff with the eyes. Oh, my eyes are bothering me. I'm hearing ringing in the ears. You can say, you know what, please bring this in with ease and grace. And we have the ability to control and say, okay, I want a little less. And then, but the awareness, Renee, and I want to get back to you on this, is that you were talking about, where am I resisting it from coming in?
Yeah. And that's always the indicator when you're feeling some sort of pain, some sort of something, whether it's an ascension thing where the energy's coming, either way, it is an energy that your body is yelling out to you, hey, something's in here, get it out. So what are we doing? So whatever words you use, and you don't have to say them out loud, you can just think them. And we're like, okay, whatever this is, thank you so much. I love you. I'm going to give you my full permission to go because I love every aspect of me and my body is working together as one whole healthy state. And allow your system to do that. And exactly what Patty said, if you are feeling too much, I know, some clients will say, oh, it's always like such a pain in the ass when that's happening, when the energy is flowing. Okay, then it's always going to be because that's what you're creating. But flip that around, start to see it from a different perspective. It's doing something wonderful for you. You are now getting out of what I'm going to refer to as the old human ways, the old human being, and you're moving back into this beautiful spiritual light of who and what we truthfully are, that has the ability to do everything and anything you can possibly imagine. You can heal your body. You can, and the truth of the matter is the body's already healed. It's a matter of just recognizing that. Anything that you want in your system, meaning in your life, anything that you want, it's already there. It's already created. You just have to realign with it. So something's in your body and say, okay, look, we know what you've been trying to get, but now get this out. And how do you want to let it go? It's really up to you. Everybody is different. What feels right to you to let this go? And Tracy, I know you always have an awesome other view. Let's see what you're having to say on this all.
So that's what I wanted to pull up some stuff that I'd written recently. And so, you know, kind of to what Patty was saying, we are turning from carbon to crystalline. We're bringing in our original divine blueprint. And I kind of had an understanding for myself that I was documenting that our true essence is so pure and so light. So when we're bringing in that essence of us, that is purity and light, we're bringing it, I almost see it as like a different version of us coming in, and then it comes into this human body. And this body is density. It's got a lot of mass to it. So we feel the contrast of the truth of us inside this physical vessel. And that can present as aches and pains or discordant energies. But really, we're just being made aware of how pure and light we are. And then, okay, so we have this bodysuit, and I was given many analogies. Like, remember when you learned to ride a bike? Remember when you snowboarded for the first time, or surfing? Because what's also happening, or flew on a plane or went skydiving, the gravity and the electromagnetics of our earth are changing. They are, you can pull it up. It's even science-based. So imagine this, you come in as this free form light essence into this physical body, working with gravity and the electromagnetics, which are, by the way, shifting and changing. It's like you put on a spacesuit that's full of concrete, and there's clumps of concrete, which is your traumas and your density, through your body. So you're trying to navigate, you know, snowboarding, skateboarding. There's so many examples with this suit that you're wearing of not evenly dispersed chunks of concrete that, oh, by the way, are internally pressing up against you or cutting you. So those are those internal aches, pains, shooting. The other day, it felt like electricity shot up my leg. I mean, I get all kinds of zany pressure in your head, your stomach, nauseous. So for me, it was such a cool analogy, instead of like, oh, this sucks, and here we go again, another headache of, oh, I'm learning to, I don't know, you know, I have to pick snowboarding, I've done skydiving, all those amazing things. It's a process of learning that equilibrium and that balance. And then I don't know about any of you if you've done those things, but I've gotten hurt. Like, I've gotten hurt a lot surfing out there. I've got the surfboard, you know what I mean? There's a lot of, so it's an adventure and it's experience. So that has really helped me to embrace the ascension symptoms, to not, it is resistance, but to work through it. And, you know, if you're in this internal suit of concrete, I'm going to chip that away. I'm just going to start chipping all of this out to fully embrace this beautiful free form essence that I really am, the crystalline structure, the Homo luminous. It's
and a multi-dimensional. We got to get this illusion out of the fact that we're just a body. We're multi-dimensional beings, and we're becoming more and more luminescent. And so I think the analogy I used with Renee is, and part of your awakening too journey is I used to think of being a jack in the box, and we're turning and turning and turning and turning. And then all of a sudden, boom, and you go, oh, wait a minute. I wasn't just stuck in a human body. Your soul is here having an experience in this body. And during that time, we're expanding and we're evolving and we're becoming less dense. And Tracy, that's absolutely right. It's like it's not a permanent suit at all. And recognizing, okay, that's why we talk about expansion. How can I go into my heart and expand more? The head keeps you stuck in the human body. That's now you're the jack in the box twirling the thing and you're not coming out. And so the freedom, the security, the wellness, all of that is okay. My body is now, evolving to being more of a light body. That is what's happening. And it's not just the humans that this is happening to. The earth is shedding. The earth is shedding the same energetic. And that's why we can use that as a tool, right? For our own wellness too.
Absolutely. And the whole aspect, let's take that whole part of like that, wearing that suit onto anything. Incorporate that into anything in your life that you don't like, that you've been trying to get out of. Because it's the same thing. We are literally in these suits and it's okay, I'm going to take this suit off. And even if you have to make that motion, I'm going to take the suit off and I'm going to step in and actually move your body over. Step over. Now I'm going to step into whatever, health and wholeness. I'm going to step into abundance. I'm going to step into wealth. What does that feel like for me? What is it? Like, utilize that for everything, because that's assisting and helping you in shedding that heaviness of the physical body that we have taken on from that energetic point, so that we can return home to that light body that we really are, and really just continue to question and doubt, or not doubt, but like continue to question every little aspect of everything that you're feeling, and see it, shift that whole little thing and see it as, oh, wow, like this is making me better. Because you don't know the big picture. We don't see the big picture of things. Like, we usually say, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. And, I'm pretty impatient. So I'm like, I want it now. Let's go. That's why I'm always like, come on, let's go. Let's bring it on. So it's that piece of, you start to recognize, oh, but that didn't happen. And then you start to go down that rabbit hole. Don't do that. Think of it as, wait, I'm going to take that suit off because I don't need to have that on, because it's going to prevent me, because that's what all this heaviness is. And every time we're judging that, whatever, that headache, or what aspect, whatever we're having, something's going on in my eyes, I got to run to the doctor, and they're going to tell you something else, and you're going to buy into that. Let's hope you don't. But if you start to buy into that, recognize, wait a minute, why did I just let that person tell me what's going on in my body? And I'm not saying don't go to the doctors and don't do the stuff, because you have to make sure, but even if they tell you something, okay, you have this, you've got that, okay, how am I going to change that? How am I going to shift and change? Okay, now they gave me the awareness that now I've got whatever, cataracts. Okay, so now I'm going to incorporate my body and say, come on, we can do this. We're going to now get rid of these. We see perfectly. We do, like, or whatever it is. Don't let somebody else tell you what's going on in your body. You can take that as a knowledge of, this is the path I'm on right now, but I can completely shift that path, and I'm going to now go on to this other path of health and wholeness or whatever, because my body and I want to work together as one. We do work together as one. And, as Patty said, it's wellness. Like, the body wants to thrive. It's never doing something to say, okay, oh, well, here, I'm going to throw this at you because, you're going to feel pain. No, it's telling you, hey, something in here, get it out. We're supposed to be thriving. We're these beautiful, healthy bodies, and you're putting your mind into something else. So let's get back to that. And let's get back into that beautiful light body that we are, because that's what all this energy is. And that's where it's bringing us. Make sense?
Absolutely, Renee. And I think, and again, embracing these ascension symptoms, embrace it and with curiosity, and say, wow, like, I'm always like, ooh, what kind of juicy upgrade is this? Because it all is purposeful. This is all purposeful and part of your growth. And so it's like, you can be curious and say, ooh, this, whenever we get, they're literally like downloads. Our system is updating, just like we have to do, if you have an Apple product, your shit gets updated every 15 seconds. It seems like Zoom keeps updating, right? Our bodies are the same way, and we're getting upgrades with universal source energy coming in. And so, just like sometimes what happens after an upgrade, right? Does your shit doesn't work, you got to restart, right? We had some technical issues this morning, right? When we start. So, but you have to just embrace it. You can't, get in the rabbit hole and go, oh no, now my shit's broken, right? And so you're not broken at all, and you have the ability to embrace it and just, but have a curiosity about it and say, oh, if you say, ooh, I wonder what this is going to show me. And tap into that intelligence and say, ooh, okay, I just had a bunch of crown pressure for 2 days. Instead of going, oh no, I'm gonna have a stroke and a migraine and blah, blah, blah. No, ooh, I wonder what that was. And having a curiosity, because when we ask to be shown it, that's when you'll get the guidance on it.
So I always ask, give me examples, and I like to push the boundaries of what's possible. So I'm going to add a fun little angle here of curiosity. I was shown many times, wrap your head around when you watch these shows, how a vampire turns or a werewolf. They go through a process. My younger daughter loves all these shows. And they turn, and it affects their physical body, but then they take on all these superhuman, vampires move really quick. They never die. They never age. Werewolves have this ferocious strength and they self-heal. So I go in that realm. I say, what's going on here? Well, you're turning, you're changing. So really, and who cares? Why wouldn't you play? I mean, what we don't know. And it's funny. I don't know if you can see this. I just looked at my pen. You are a goddamn force. Yes, we are. I was picking it up to write a note. And I'm like, yes, I am. Thank you. But I'm, you've probably, if you've listened to us before, I am the one that's going to push the bounds of what's possible, that I can fly and that I can move as quick as a vampire or werewolf.
Yeah.
Instead of going the direction of what's wrong with me, I need to go to the doctor. Ooh, what if?
Yeah. What does, yeah, you literally, I love your analogy, Tracy. It's like you're turning into Superman. Oh, that we're going into the phone booth and stuff shifting. So it's like, oh, wow, I can't wait to see what kind of an upgrade did I just receive, and and embrace it and love it, and just and notice and not being in judgment of it. And again, the having that discernment too of saying, uh-oh, an old energy that I thought I cleared is gone. It can still be gone. This is very important. You can shift out of a frequency or vibration, whatever language you want to use. You can shift out of a frequency and vibration and be stable in it. But that doesn't mean that your physical eyes still might not see something go by that you're not in alignment with. You still choose to hold your power, and you're being shown it. Sometimes it's just on its way out. So don't engage in that, because your power is in the now. And if you get back into the past or future projecting, that's when you're realigning with that old thing. And so just be comfortable just observing it and go, oh, that used to be, like, I use language like, oh, that was my old timeline. Oh no, that's the old timeline. That's not who I am now. It's like Renee was saying, no, I'm aligned now with this right now. And this is going to change in 5 minutes. And then I'm going to be aligned with that, and because I'm staying present. And then recognizing, oh, that's just the old, anything that's going to throw you off of being present in the now, that, oh, okay, that's just an old timeline that I can see, and that situation can see me, but I'm not connected to that energy because I'm choosing to align here. And that's your choice, right? And like overall, really, all ascension is for our greatest and higher good, I guess, is the point, right, Renee?
Correct, absolutely. And I think you've got to be your biggest cheerleader. And for that, I'm going to throw it to Tracy, because you are your biggest cheerleader. And I love the things that you say. And I think everybody should be saying these things to them. So what is it you tell yourself there, Trace?
I do. I quite often tell myself and tell people, oh my gosh, I'm my biggest fan, because of what I write and what I do and create, and that I am brilliant, because I do believe 100% that my higher self, my connection to universal intelligence, is always orchestrating things for my favor. Even if in the moment they don't seem, I always take the time. Once it comes around, I go, oh my gosh, that was brilliant. I am brilliant. I'm my biggest fan. And I encourage everyone to believe that and say that and be your biggest fan, be your biggest fan. Yeah, it's an amazing place to be.
You're
Absolutely.
inviting in more intelligence to come in. You're saying it, so bring it. You're
Yeah.
inviting it in and saying, oh, wow, look at this genius. And you know what? How about acknowledging the genius in someone else too,
Yes.
right? And saying, hey, that's their gene. It's perfect for them. And say, and sometimes that's what some people need to hear. If you see someone, no, you do give somebody their props and say, no, you're actually, you do have genius. Are you aware? I have somebody that I'm close to, and I'm like, you are a catalyst for unconditional love. Not even, and he totally not consciously aware that they even do it. And I point out the behavior and I go, you just did this in this situation and did that. And all I saw was an exchange of unconditional love. Not aware, but give it to them. When you witness that, tell them like, hey, do you see the genius that you just practiced in that moment? And this is part of being in community and being in tribe and saying, wow, you just use your superpowers there. Even if they're not aware of it, when you point it out, it's going to resonate. It's going to resonate because that's a heart energy. It's a hard energy. And so it's recognizing it, right? The light in me recognizes the light in you. And maybe you're the only one seeing that light, and then we'll say it because you are helping them in that moment without, you're not giving away your power, but you're actually helping them. You're like shining a flashlight going, hey, look over here. Look at what you're already doing. And I think each and every one of us had a point in this journey too, right? Where you said, oh, wait a minute. I actually have some badass power here that I can play with. And and you've got to acknowledge it. And we all
I want to share a quote because I just was reminded of it. It says, most people end up being conformist. They adapt to prison life. A few become reformers. They fight for better lighting, better ventilation. Hardly anyone becomes a rebel, a revolutionary who breaks down the prison walls. You can only be a revolutionary when you see the prison walls in the first place. That's a quote from Anthony DeMello. But I read it the other day, and this all ties together. Embrace your crazy, embrace other people's crazy. And I'm going to use myself as an example. My husband and I are very successful and we have an amazing life with a lot of abundance, but it's because I didn't let other people dissuade me. You're crazy. You're going to fail. You're going to do this. And I know it's, easier said than practiced, but I think that's the first step. I've always pointed out, I just told my friend the other day, you are so extraordinary. You have to realize you're extraordinary. And a lot of people aren't. So don't let their lack of being extraordinary take from you, because you are. Don't expect them to, resonate right where you are. And I think this goes to abundance and everything we've said. And I know I say a lot of wacky things and I don't not say them because I'm scared of how people are going to take me. Like, oh, I'm just trying to be a vampire and a werewolf and claim my superhuman. But then how many people come behind my husband and I, oh my gosh, we should have, we would have. Yeah, you should have and you would have. But you sat on the sidelines, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be on the sidelines. Just don't envy or want what someone had the courage and the guts to
don't
jump
judge.
off
Yeah.
the cliff.
Don't kill somebody else's dream. And and you operate. And I love this expression. And this is how you operate too, Tracy. And other people's opinion of you are none of your business.
Yep.
And when you follow your guidance and going, this feels good to me, this feels choiceless to me, you're living in in authenticity, and own your authenticity without regard to what other people think about you, because it's none of your business. And then for this kind of, I had a thought when you were talking, Tracy, too, about there are many people right now saying, what's my purpose? Why am I here? What are my gifts? And I can tell you that ask your friends what do you think my gifts are? They may point something out about you that they see that is so beautiful and loving that you are just completely not taking advantage of as one of your gifts. And you go, well, wait, but that's just, or that you might think, doesn't everybody do that? When you have that, wait, doesn't everybody do this thought? That's one of your gifts.
Well,
Yeah.
and I don't want to not say it. Everyone is extraordinary if you have this strength to claim it, which we are terrified to claim our truth, which goes back to one of our other episodes. So if you admire someone who is claiming it at all costs, no, this is my truth. Yeah, it's terrifying, but it's available. You are extraordinary. Just
And
have the
it's not scary. We want to repeat the word fun here. It's fun. When you embrace it, you truly, truly can play with it and have fun. We're not meant to come here and struggle. We were meant to come here and have fun. And so boy, this went quick. Renee, any closing thoughts?
Just be your biggest cheerleader because we're all cheering you on. We're here for your first support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are your biggest cheerleaders. Thank you to all of you, for all of our loyal subscribers. And to those of you who are new, we welcome you and we thank you. And we're sending big love to everybody. And we will see you all next episode.